English Grammar Basic number 23. Today we are going to study superlative adjectives. Superlative adjectives. Superlatives is to compare three or more things. Comparative, comparative, for example, A and B, two things. But superlative, A, B, C, more, three or more things. So there's a family, father Jim, mother Jane, son Sam, daughter Kelly. Now, Sam, the son, is taller than Kelly, and Jane is taller than Sam. Jim is taller than Jane. So these are comparatives. Comparatives, again, Sam is taller than Kelly. Jane is taller than Sam. Jim is taller than Jane. So this makes Jim is the tallest person in the family. When you make comparative, use ER, then. But superlative, the plus EST. Okay, now, Jane is shorter than Jim. So Jane is shorter than Jim. So comparative, ER, then. Sam is shorter than Jane. Shorter than Jane. Kelly is shorter than Sam. This makes Kelly is the shortest person in the family. So these three are comparatives, and this one superlative. Let's read the sentences one more time. Sam is taller than Kelly. Jane is taller than Sam. Jim is taller than Jane. And Jim is the tallest person in the family. Jane is shorter than Jim. Sam is shorter than Jane. Kelly is shorter than Sam. This makes Kelly is the shortest person in the family. Now, this is adjective and this is superlative adjective. Old with the plus oldest. Big, the plus biggest with an extra G. Easy, the easiest, and then this Y becomes I. Friendly. Friendly, this is not an adverb, it's an adjective. So the friendliest. Beautiful, the most beautiful. The most beautiful. Good, the best. So this is an exception. Bad, the worst. Exception, far, the farthest. Good, comparative is better. And the best. Bad, worse, and the worst. Now, Jim is older than Jane. Jane is older than Sam. Sam is older than Kelly. This makes Jim is the oldest person in the family. So Jim is older than Jane. Jane is older than Sam. Sam is older than Kelly. So Jim is the oldest person in the family. Now let's read some examples. My grandmother is the oldest person in my family. The oldest person. This is the easiest test I've ever taken. Barry is the friendliest guy in the class. Donna is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. The most expensive shoes in the world cost $1.5 million. I like all sports, but I like soccer the best. Picking up garbage was the worst job I've ever had. The worst job. Australia is the farthest I've ever traveled. The farthest. When you use superlative, don't forget the. I read newest lesson from Espresso English. I read the newest lesson from Espresso English. So don't forget the. Let's read the examples one more time. My grandmother is the oldest person in my family. This is the easiest test I've ever taken. Barry is the friendliest guy in the class. Donna is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. The most expensive shoes in the world cost $1.5 million. I like all sports, but I like soccer the best. Picking up garbage was the worst job I've ever had. Australia is the farthest I've ever traveled. Now, superlative adjectives are often used with the present perfect plus ever. This is the best sushi I've ever eaten. What's the most expensive car you've ever driven? The longest book I've ever read was 500 pages. Jan is the friendliest person I've ever met. Okay, let's go back to the first sentence. This is the best sushi. Best sushi. So when you say this part, best sushi, so this one just say best sushi. Be, best sushi. But the thing is, sushi, there are two S's, so you can say best sushi. Instead of saying best sushi, you can say best sushi. This is the best sushi I've ever eaten. What's the most expensive car you've, I've, you've ever driven? The longest book I've ever read. This one is not read. This is supposed to be read. Was 500 pages. Jan is the friendliest person I've ever met. The friendliest person. Okay. Comparative is ER or more plus than. Superlative, but this is only two. Superlative, three and more, the plus est. Okay, please try to memorize this.